Hello and welcome back to Sew April. And this is hashtag Friday Sews, and it was created by Jen and today in Jen's Sewing Room. And don't forget to check out all the other hashtag Friday Sews videos. There's like so many ladies now, it's so hard to keep up with watching all of them, but I really do try my best. This last week I still haven't really caught up because I've had problems, and I'll talk about that later on. So first and foremost, sewing. So for sewing, this last week or two, because I don't think I posted last week. So for sewing lately, what I have been working on is my April Styles outfit. I will have a dress, a pair of pants, and a top. And I try to post those on the last day of the month. So it will be on the 31st. And then I have a collab with Kris from Sew Notes and Sherry from Granny's Sewing Room. We made the Hiraeth bag from Lavender and Twine. I'll give you a sneak peek. Kris, Sherry, don't look. Woo! So there's that. And then I have had a lot of sewing machine problems. Since I can't really show you anything I've made, I will go ahead and talk about my sewing machine problems. So, a while back, I don't know if you remember, I saw a video, and I'm pretty sure I linked it below, and it was from the Sewing Edit. I believe that was her channel. Anyway, she had mentioned if you buy these screws and buy this walking foot, you can make your Juki DDL 8700 a walking foot sewing machine. And I was like, oh wow, that's cool. So I paid almost $100 to get this done, and tried it out the first time and it seemed to work fine. And then when I went to mess with it the second time, I was working on this bag actually, and my machine stopped working. And like the stitches were like, I don't have any scraps to show of that. Anyways, my stitches stopped. My stitches were like stitching and then like a long stitch and then stitches. And so I looked everything up, and it said that it was the timing on the machine. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's not good. And so I had messaged Steve from Sewing Gold, which is where I got my machine. And he's always been very helpful. And he went ahead and sent me some videos to look at for timing. My husband had worked on it for 3 days, and my husband does this kind of stuff at work where you're like literally like with a hair apart from things. He's really good at that, and he worked on it, like I said, 3 days. I had worked on it in between the times that he did, and then my sister Sherry had worked on it twice, and like it would get so close but it wouldn't work. And I messaged Steve back and I said, hey look, you know, we've worked on this thing like 1,000,000 hours, and that's exactly what I told him. And at that point it had been like 7 days, and so 7 days without my machine, which means no sewing, and I still had to like try to hurry up and get this bag done. Like my stress level was through the roof. I was heartbroken. My stomach was in knots that my machine was not working, and you know, it's that kind of sick feeling, like you almost feel like you're going to throw up, but you know you did something to ruin your machine, and that's exactly what it was. And so I had been messaging Steve back and forth, and he had sent me some more videos, and then the last time he said, it really looks like your needle isn't pushed up into, you know, the needle bar all the way. And I told my husband that, and then like he had cleaned it out and it didn't work, and then we were still messing with the timing, and then Steve had said that a second time, and then I told my husband, I said, well, he said the same thing again. I said, he's got to know what he's talking about. He's been doing this business for like a lot of years, you know. And so my husband like took everything apart, like scraped in there, and then it was so bad he literally had to use pliers to hold the needle, shove it up in there, and turn the wheel to like get the needle in there, and then it worked perfect. I was like, he's like, okay, done. I said, what do you mean done? He goes, it's done. I said, what do you mean it's done? Like, the needles in the bar or what? Like, you still need to work on the timing? He goes, no, I'm totally done. Your machine's fixed. And I was like, really? Let's go ahead and put all the plates and everything back on and check it just to make sure that the stitches aren't skipping, because whenever I thought I had it fixed, it still had skipped stitches. And he was like, okay. So we did that and it was working perfect. I did have to mess with the tension a little because he had accidentally like adjusted the tension thinking that was going to move something with the bar at one point. But yeah, so we got it fixed. And he said basically what it is that that walking foot, the screw we had used, had like got metal shavings up in where the needle bar goes, and so it wasn't causing the needle to go all the way up. And so he said there's like a burr in there. I have no idea what that means, but he works with metal and pipes and he knows about all that. And he said, you really need to go ahead and just get a new needle bar. And so I called Steve up and I ordered a needle bar and then the little thing that has the thread guide and then another screw, because, you know, I would rather have two for this machine than one at this point. They're so tiny and you only get the one. And then I told him I wanted to go ahead and buy 3 more of the bobbin cases since I only had one at this point. So another $100 down, but totally worth it. And I learned my lesson. Do not use anything like this. If it is not made for your machine, do not use it. So yeah, learn from my experience, and it's better just to go slow instead of ruining your machine. And my sister Sherry was like, well, me and your husband could just time your machine now with our eyes closed. And I'm thinking I could too, because I was able to do it too, you know. So yeah, so much drama with my machine. And at one point I told my machine, because it's over a year old and I've never named it, and I always name all my other machines, I was like, is this because you don't have a name? And so I thought, well, I'm going to name it something that I know is a very hard-working name and always works for everything. My husband's old truck, which is a GMC, it's a 65 GMC truck, we named it Betsy. So my sewing machine's name is Betsy now, and now she works, and I'm expecting her to last for another, I don't know, as long as I live at least. So, but yeah, that's all I can really think about to say is I've just been spending all my time on my sewing machine and then getting it fixed. So then when I got my machine fixed, I was able to finish up my bag for my collab. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions or anything. But I will go ahead and let y'all go. Y'all have a very blessed day. Bye.